Now, welcome back, part two, with my darling friend over here, brother from another mother. Who, sidebar, it's almost been 13 years since we met. We're going
That's
on
right.
13 years this August.
Man, hey, ho, ho to that.
Hey, ho, ho. Why can't we get like Rikishi to come out and dance to that?
There you go.
I mean, his two-step would go along, you know.
Uh,
He could do it, but jumping off like that, I'm telling you, like you're gonna get the text if that's stuck in my head. Like I'm get,
hey,
like,
it's your ringtone now, so.
you're like, hey, how do you like WrestleMania? Hey, no. But start off quick. We'll just go and ramble about give the side because I'm really not excited about the women's tag team title match. No offense.
Yeah.
No offense to them. I mean, it's Tamina and Natty pretty much versus Tamina and Natty.
Yeah, it's nothing.
And I mean, I don't think they're going to pull. I mean, if they, how do I put it nicely? If they for some reason give Natty a title, when the hell does that ever happen in her career? And Tamina, I mean, like I just don't see them doing it because she's always getting hurt, and
Yeah.
and I mean, but theoretically they could have them win, and then they could drag this out another month to have them, go at it at the next pay per view for their rematch, and then they could lose, and that could set them finally, on a tear on each other. We could blame Reginald. I'd like to see Reginald get just mauled.
Yeah, there you go.
But I don't think it's. I mean, I have zero excitement or hope for it to.
As we had touched base before, when they had the turmoil match, there's not many tag teams that in the women's division that have any kind of character remnants.
Yeah, and they even threw some of them together that were in that match. Like with Mella and Billy Kay. Like, hey, what, you're going in the match? I just see you're on the card. It's like the Wise and Peyton because Peyton's way more talented than Billy.
Yeah,
like that was one of those last second here. We're just gonna like, what, you're all like you. It's like Oprah.
Yeah,
you get a match, and you get a match, and screw it. What, you two haven't even, like, you've only been talking for one episode of SmackDown. You guys get a match. Like, no. Now the Riot Squad, at least they've been around for forever. Like,
yeah. Again, character remnants. They actually have something.
Yeah, they have it.
Not to double back from on last night with the results and stuff like that, but their attires were pretty cool. Joker, Harley, like, cool, really cool. Forgot about that note. And quick mention of last night, the Seth Rollins commercial. Still, that was probably a big highlight. It was very entertaining.
There's no way paid for.
And if you didn't notice his attire, another quick side note, on the side of his leg, he had an image of himself in the blue and the red Obama poster layout. That was interesting. If you get a chance to take a look at his attire there.
Yep, I did not notice the nope. I'm sorry, hope. It was hope. It wasn't nope. Yeah. I'm sorry. Sorry. I'm easily distracted by stupid stuff like that. But yeah, like but on a side note from it, I'm still happy that. Talk about this. It's more fun than the women's title match, tag title match. But I'm glad they got Cesaro and that they put those two together because that was gold. Yeah. Now, other gold. I mean, there's a lot of gold on tonight. It's a big long card. I mean, I kind of feel bad for everyone that got put on night one. It's like you guys had no chance of beating almost any of this because Riddle and Sheamus are going to beat the hell out of each other.
Yeah.
There's no other way around it.
I see either one winning. Riddle to me, he's growing very slowly on me. He does have a lot of potential in ring wise, performance wise. Yeah, he's very, very well. The whole couple moments of the stoner moments, kind of funny. Just the way he is. It's kind of hard to describe him, but all around. I think they could do more character-wise, but in-ring performance-wise, both of them great. Sheamus has been around for a while. I think Riddle will retain Sheamus again at that point where he could either put someone over and still look good, or maybe he wins the title.
He'd say he doesn't need it, but he could go on. But at this stage of his career, he could go on a great tear if they gave him the title. Like he could just go on a great run and look at all and people like the Riddles and the Ricochets and all the people in the world could actually, like, they could be chasing him down and think of all the stuff he could do to finally get Ricochet, like, used. because
Yeah.
him and Alistair got called up for some god awful reason all those years ago. They made him a tag team, and what has
Yeah, you
he
can-
done since then?
You could really utilize a lot of the underutilized wrestlers, or we could see like a Riddle and Sheamus program back and forth, like back in the Triple H and Rock days with the Intercontinental title, something like that, put more other guys over, give them opportunities.
And like I think that's going to be I think that could actually be like you can't even say that's going to be a show stealer because there's so much.
I know.
Like whoever booked this, really, they just hated the fans on night one. I mean, look what we had the first night, and then you look at this and you're like, that could be good. That could be really good. That could be really good. Like, I'm gonna have one. I initially forgot where I was going with that.
It's okay. We all have those moments.
And scoot away into
pre-senior moments. It's okay. So that brings us into another good match. I think is going to be a showstopper. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. Hoping the prop bet. I'm really hoping Owens jumps right off the middle of the ship on the Zayn, on the stage there. Sami Zayn's due. He is really due for a moment, not just a moment in general, but a WrestleMania moment. He's put so much into his character, and he doesn't really need to win matches, but I think he should have the moment, given that Kevin Owens had his crazy moment last year, won his match with Rollins. I really think Sami is going to win this one. Long overdue.
Damn song. But, yeah, I mean, I'll be happy either way. If it pushes like Owens to get to do them if he wins to get to do the main event thing with the champion, and actually get it, because I'm still pissed off about the Royal Rumble or whatever, where he was still down on the ground and the referee just stopped counting.
Unfortunately, they had to play that off because handcuffs went bad.
Five. We're all going 6.
As Heyman's crawling underneath trying to remove the handcuffs.
Here you go, guys. Knock the referee down.
Yeah, unfortunately,
it looks stupid.
Yeah, you can't play off a low blow for that long. Sorry,
But if they give him that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But if they give it to, Owens, and he gets to finally be champion, because I think he deserves a run. And Sami doesn't need to win. Sami's one of the best characters going, and you look at him and he plays crazy paranoid so well.
Very well.
But when you look at his stuff, because a lot of people, they don't go all the way back to when NXT first started, in the PC and all that. When you go back to I know he wasn't there right at the beginning, but you look at the first takeovers where he was, him and his match with Shinsuke at Takeover. Dallas, I think, was what he can go if they give him the opportunity to go. And I can't think of him actually having he was the Intercontinental Champion when crazy paranoid man. But I would be quite all right if he got
it's Kevin and Sami. It's going to be a good match. Great chemistry. I don't know if Logan Paul's going to get involved. Really, I think that was kind of just a throw in last minute kind of deal. Maybe he'll get involved. Maybe he won't. I don't know what kind of spot they could do.
Can we render him unconscious like he did in that one boxing match he was in, where he was just?
That's probably about as good as he's going to get.
I don't get why they threw it in there, because they didn't need it. Because again, go back and watch them on takeovers.
Oh yeah,
watch them when they were working together at WrestleMania. They worked so good together, as a team. That's why they work so well against one another. They just have the chemistry. I think it's gonna be a very good. It's gonna be a show stealer. Kevin is not going into this not thinking, I'm going off that mother ship, and we're stealing this thing. What? Good luck keeping up with that.
I think that is going to be one of the show-stopping moments there. So another feud we're getting into here, Intercontinental Championship, Big E Apollo.
Damn accent.
Yeah, he can really play a great heel, and I know they're kind of trying to build him in a certain way, which I'm kind of glad. I think Cruz is due. He really is. Time. Yeah.
They called him up way too early, and you could tell, because this is the first anything he's actually done with, and he's been up there for 3-4 years.
Yeah, a few brief stints as United States champion, I think, and that was it.
For 6 seconds, they gave him 6 seconds of shining.
Yeah,
but he was only in NXT for 2-3 months. I don't know why they pulled him up so fast.
Yeah,
he's finally now, after all these years, this is the first character that he's actually had. The whole entire time he's been with the company.
And a heel turn could have been at the beginning, he had that typical Rocky Maivia babyface kind of stuff, and no one was buying it. Just And I think again called up too soon. Could have had better development, and the heel turn.
Better.
Heel turn, I really think is going to benefit him, and a Big E can really push him to his. I think they're going to push each other to their limits, and
it's going to be way better than people expect.
Yeah, definitely, and again, Big E maybe drops it, and they have a feud back and forth, or we throw Big E into another title picture.
Yeah, like they could drag it out. Like I could see them. I can't say dragging it out. That just makes it sound so bad. But they can drag that out with the two of them going at it. Yeah, as they're still doing Thunderdome and like because they can't do crowds. Like they could drag that out to like SummerSlam.
Oh yeah.
And honestly, we could see. I mean, whether they go back and forth with it or someone gets in, he keeps trying to if Apollo wins, they could drag that with Big E trying to get back at it and stupid stuff happening, and they keep dragging it on to have the big moment at SummerSlam. Like we're only 4 months away.
Or again, like the United States Championship, if Apollo Crews wins, we could see so many more opportunities for other talents to get their due.
And they have their locker room, the talent they have in there is astonishing, and it's sad that we're finally just seeing some of these people used.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's just too much talent with call-ups happening so much, and I mean, even looking at NXT, there's a lot of talent, and they keep signing these people now. A lot of them again in development, performance center, all kinds of stuff. But I think they're at a point. There's so many good wrestlers. Not just on the main roster, but NXT and even other places such as AEW and all these other promotions. Like you can only do so much with how many people you have, and doing proper builds and calling them up at the right time and getting them into a program instead of like call you up couple weeks worth of stuff. I.e. Keith Lee, still a little rushed on that end, but that's a side note. But
man, he was on a roll though.
Yeah.
On that side note. Man, was he on a roll.
Oh, yeah. I think great things are coming with Lee once whatever the personal situation he had that kept him off of TV. But I really think big things are coming for him. Hate to go off
him. I'll say, but him, I think that's going to be a good thing. Apollo, because they're finally using him. Big E, like this is the best stuff. I mean, even when I'm not taking away from the New Day. The New Day compared to the solo stuff is like night and day, completely different stuff. Go back and watch again NXT when he was doing the 5 count, just running through people.
Yeah.
And then he was Ziggler's enforcer.
Yeah.
And AJ was still around. Not Styles, Lee.
Yes.
And it's been this long since that wasn't even singles, but he was a single guy. And then how many years was it? It's the New Day. Yes, it is, which was still great to see him, do that one more time.
The New Day kind of reminds me of the whole Freebird rule, with the tag team titles. And I wish they would bring that back. Seriously,
that was a good one.
That could really revive the tag team division,
and it could give more people, just something that's my problem. No, completely screw it. We'll move on. We do what we want. We do what we want on Wrestling with Ski.
That's right.
We sidebar like an SOB, but.
Short attention span, but that's okay.
Bring back what they did. I don't like titles changing hands every 3 seconds. I think it does diminish it, when it's going back and forth. But back in the Attitude Era with the tag titles.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look who is changing hands all the time. Dudley's, Hardy's, Edge and Christian, Too Cool, Kai and Tai, TNA,
APA.
Everyone had a legitimate, they were there and they were all and you could believe it. And it made the tag team division so much better because everyone was always there. It's not just,
but also, again, it goes back to my note, actual tag teams that have character development.
But them doing that with the titles,
oh yeah,
let them actually build something. They got TV time and they were there and they got to keep going out and doing their thing. It's not just where the hell have you guys been for 6 months? Hey, they're in a tag team match. I don't want the Raiders to come back. Not the Las Vegas Raiders, Viking Raiders. Okay?
Yeah.
People that are confused right now because we haven't seen them in forever. I love the two of them. I thought they were them and the
I like the segments with the Street Profits.
I love them.
That reminded me of character development in the Attitude Era.
Yeah, that was and everyone says, oh, they can't go back to that. It's not the same business and company anymore. Vince McMahon has 7 million people that could he could actually meet with the talent. And talk with the talent and do all these, and they could do more with the talent to build everything like they used to. And everyone said, well, it doesn't have the time anymore. How? It was like Vince against the world.
Yeah.
He's got Shane in there. Stephanie's in there. Paul, as no one likes to call him by his real name, Paul is in there doing all kinds of things. Look at, I mean, he's got Sean doing NXT UK stuff. He's got people over. He could actually sit down, and they have enough people where I don't know why. I mean, I know Dusty, God bless his soul, we lost him. That kind of hurt their whole entire promo thing, like, because that was his baby, and they were really good.
I mean, looking back,
but that, like, I think they just, even if the women's, like, there's so many, like, there's so many teams that they could, like, with their tag titles, like, their tag division can be revived so much, and the tag division is so bad that the SmackDown tag titles got defended on SmackDown, and we had a women's waste of time tag team turmoil #1 contenders match on the main card, which you sat there looking at going, like, why am I watching this? But
anyways, speaking of character development, that brings us to the one I'm really absolutely looking forward to, Fiend and Orton. That is like, that has me like a schoolgirl jumping up and down. And got a few side notes on this. Wyatt deserves it. The whole full circle effect from the other WrestleMania, definitely.
Like they did with Cena last year.
Yeah, WrestleMania looks like it was WrestleMania 33 when the whole Wyatt family and Orton and all that kind of stuff. So coming full circle, just like the John Cena and Fiend match last year, full circle on that as well. But yeah, Wyatt deserves it. I'm going to make an interesting side note here in a prop bet. I don't think this whole new return Fiend thing is going to last long. I don't know how they can keep it up with the prosthetics. I hope the match goes smoothly, but my prediction, not a spoiler, but a prediction. I think Fiend, once the match is over, or maybe in the middle of the match, lights are going to go out, and all of a sudden we have original Fiend back, because I just, as far as character development, it's been great. It was awesome. But I just can't see them putting this whole burn Fiend thing for a long time. Given between,
not sustainable.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, you're gonna have to put a lot of money into it. I mean, look at. They had a top Hollywood guy come in and get him all done up. But again, Vince likes to save money, so I don't see it lasting long. So I'm thinking. The way they're going to get around it is, honestly, in my opinion, and it may not be true, I honestly think Bo Dallas is in this Fiend outfit, and
I've been on that kick.
Lights go out, and regular Fiend appears again, because that's the only way they're going to get around it, because they're in front of a live crowd. Yeah. So I think that's how they pull that off. Because honestly, if you go in WWE shop, you only see a few things of the return Fiend that are on there, but everything else is still on there. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm paranoid. I don't know. But I like the original Fiend. Love how they've done the character development, where you can take Bray Wyatt out for 4 months, have Alexa take over and run that storyline. Yeah.
God, that was call me what you want. I mean, she's only hanging right, but like I've always been like, even when she was just managing.
Yeah,
Murphy, she was good. Exactly. Then she did the goddess thing. Good. She did the baby face run with Nikki. She did it great. She's doing she did the in between where she was like, and then turning into a psychopath she did all that so well. And then she's drugged this on, and again they drug it on so long.
But good, well, in a good way. Yeah.
They drug it out and kept so they could keep just telling the story and slowly building it and doing all that for 4 months. And on Raw, they got 12 seconds. That was it of airtime. I think they got more airtime on SmackDown just because there was nothing else on SmackDown, so they're trying to just fill a void.
Yeah.
But they literally did not all the other things. There were people all over each other. They had the Bobby thing with Drew. Sheamus and Riddle were doing stuff. All the women's tag team people in the turmoil were all up in each other's face on Raw and SmackDown. And the Fiend and Alexa thing between two shows got maybe a minute, because they don't have to build it.
A promo, basically a promo, not even a go home moment at all. It was just a promo,
just a few words, and that was it.
Yeah,
it was good. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be but he's gonna. They have to. They have no choice. The regular guy. He's going to cleanse him of his sins.
Yeah.
And it's going to be over.
Yeah.
And now, before we talk forever, Asuka and Rhea, I think that they're actually going to put on a much better show than anyone predicts, just because the clashing styles is so much bigger. I think it's going to be and Io and Raquel did a good job.
I think it's going to be.
I think it's going to be Rhea, though, now. Now, after what they did after they gave it to Bianca, I'm pretty sure that means Asuka's going to retain now, just because, we can't go and give the title to the person that everyone said looked like Charlotte. She has to come back so they can give the title to Charlotte. If she doesn't do it, you like it just boom, suddenly she's there.
Yeah,
Well,
I think it's underrated. I think the as you said, the match is going to be good. Kind of again, like we had touched base, thrown together last minute, but I think dividends are going to pay off. My crazy another prop bet. And maybe I could be wrong, but I think Charlotte's just going to show up and throw herself in it. I think it's going to be a Vinnie Mac last minute decision, and maybe I would love Rhea to win. But again, if Charlotte's put in this, and again, she may not be, honestly, I honestly think if Charlotte were to be put in it, I think she would win it and then give Rhea her due, put Rhea over, because honestly, last year, bad decision to take the NXT title off of Rhea and give it to Charlotte. Stupid.
For like 2 weeks.
Yeah. And then
it helped Io, but I mean, Io could have beat Rhea. They could have done the same thing. Io goes in there and beats like Rhea, and Rhea just put down Charlotte. Like that could have made Io just as big, if not bigger.
Oh yeah.
Without having to throw Charlotte in there. Like that was just one of those like, well, we can't go and put her in our main event again. Like I know why. She's only been in like 75 straight WrestleMania main events, just like hell. Ask who we're talking about, Asuka, how she feels about that. She got to be women's champion for about 4 days just so Charlotte could beat her, because they had to put her in the main event because, they weren't building Becky versus Ronda for, like since before, her face got broken by Nia, for Survivor Series. Like they only built it up for 6, 7, 8 months at that point. Why not? But Charlotte needs to be in there. Like, no, Charlotte does not. But I would love to see Rhea, she deserves it. She put in the work. She was like the NXT Women's Division for the longest time until Io got there, and Io was well deserving to be that person. Yeah,
Rhea's like Rhea's like one of my favorites. Not to go off on the side note, but when she first came in, and you probably heard it, a lot of people. She looks like Charlotte. Yeah, and sounds like Charlotte. And I'm so glad that Paul and the staff gave her a chance to repackage herself. I mean, I'm sure they probably had something to do with it, but from what I've seen on articles and interviews, it seems like they kind of gave her full reign in a sense to repackage herself, and they did a really good job.
I think they did a phenomenal job.
Yeah, more of those, one of those characters you can relate to, because you see her attire. She's not flashy. She's not. She's her own character that people can relate to.
Which is why I was always, sidebar, which is why it was kind of like Conrad butchering, Bruce Pritchard to death and making him continuously watch the broken Matt Hardy things. What I said, I liked Priest just because he was different, and you're finally coming around now. Why? Because he was like everyone else is like, he was unique, kind of like the Ciampa thing.
Yeah,
like he's like just. There's not many. I mean, you look at the theories and the Gargano, like all of them are all like,
We need to do an episode. We need to do an episode on character just development and character build-ups and just in general.
I got the time, and I got a microphone.
That's right.
I got all day, except around 4:50ish or so. I have an auction tonight that I have to attend, so we can't do it then. But we can go off right after if you'd like.
That's right.
But and then the main event. Event, who do we think? I think they backed themselves into a corner. I really do, because they had Edge do the heel thing, and yes, his part on talking smack with Paul was amazing. No one ever watches Talking Smack because, well, who cares? But Paul Heyman and they did a good thing, and they've been building it up so good. But what do? Because they're not going to change the path. What they finally did, what they did with the Rock Roman, like die Rocky die turned into oh really? Yeah. And then they finally did it with Roman, and they're not going to ruin that. They're not going to ruin that. And Edge, it's 10 years to the day when he was forced to retire and give up the belt. But there's two heels, so how does Roman lose and then go away honestly, for a little bit?
Edge kind of gives me the I wouldn't call it the Stone Cold effect, but people are so happy to see him back in wrestling. It doesn't matter which character he turns on. The nice guy, the rated R superstar, the sleazy, sneezy kind of persona. Just everyone's happy to see Edge wrestle because we've waited so long, and that guy could do anything. He probably could punt a cat into a crowd, and people would still be happy that he's wrestling. So again, they did back themselves. into a corner.
Because they could have had
Honestly,
him the in between guy. They could have had him like attack
yeah,
him at Fastlane, and then walk away and be like, what? And then give some good thing where where there's a clear good guy, there's a clear bad guy, and then there's him in the middle where you don't know which way he's going to go. But he's
yeah.
gone full off the deep end now. And I mean, I'm like, are they going to give it to him for that? Because then Roman could vanish off of TV for a little bit because he lost, and they could pull off something. He embarrassed the family and this, that, and the other thing. He can go off, and they can have him go with Daniel. Because those two, I think Edge and Daniel could be phenomenal. I hate using the word continuously because it's used way too much thanks to AJ, but that could be great. But I mean, do they have one of the heels win? Like, do they have Edge win against Roman? Then Roman tries to get it back, but it's two heels, and they do not do two heels against each other.
No,
it's not their thing. That's my only problem with it. They back themselves into this one, so it's kind of
but again,
Daniel, they can work a way out of it. So I mean,
again, even if it would be Edge and Roman again, it doesn't matter what Edge does. Just people are so happy to see him wrestle.
But Daniel Bryan's in there, and I mean, if we remember correctly, I know sidebars, we love doing it. I mean, I only have a few minutes, so I can't give it. But remember when Roman won like the Royal Rumble in Philly, and they even brought out The Rock after it was done, and The Rock got booed out of the building because Roman won and not. I mean, they what? I mean, there's certain situations where and then look at Daniel Bryan when Blue Tista.
Yeah.
Not Bautista. Remember, he came out wearing blue, so he turned into from Bautista to Bautista to Blue Tista, all in one day. And look, I mean, everyone's all no, really. And Daniel got put into it. Why? Because they didn't care how happy they were to see him.
Yeah,
everyone loves going like this.
Yeah, honestly, my pick, Daniel Bryan. The contract's coming up. He's already stated he wants to be more of a full-time dad and a part-time wrestler. Then I think Daniel Bryan versus Edge, SummerSlam. Wild, just a wild inclination. Final match, retirement match, and then he just becomes part-time. He just becomes like an Undertaker kind of gig here and there. Can fill in, put people over, and
Yep. Save his body, be there for his family, and he can work with anybody. I'm going with that just because they back themselves.
And a quick prop bet here. Tony Schimmel. I hope he's there to introduce Edge because that is the only ring announcer that got it right. I really hope that they utilize him.
I saw you post that. And then I heard that exact thing I just did in my head. Like what no one can do it as good as him. Like what Howard Finkel was for saying, certain people's intros, what Schimmel was.
Yep.
He became that guy. Like I don't like any of them. I mean, the guy that does Raw, sure, he's good. I don't even know who does SmackDown announcing the people. I don't even know and the lady on NXT. I'm sorry, none of them equal up to the awesomeness of the Schimmel.
Yep, exactly. Or the match ends in Roman Reigns and everyone's angry because Vince has got to give somebody something to complain about. So it could be anybody, but I would say if I had to pick, I'd say Daniel Bryan.
It's Vince McMahon. I mean, how many things do you think that got changed last minute while they were waiting on the weather for the first time ever? Because, he was probably back there going, Jesus Christ, freaking out because of all that. It's Vince. Like, look how many last minute changes he's done. Think if the show gets delayed because of weather for the first time ever, and then he has an extra hour. He's just sitting there going,
what can I do to
piss everyone off today? Aha! And then he's going to think it's good. Because that's what Vince McMahon does, no matter how dumb it is. Like, who hired that guy? You did. And then suddenly it's a good idea. Like, who came up with that? You? I love it. Good for you. But I don't know. I think it has to be Bryan again, just because it is coming up. They back themselves into a corner. I mean, they could work their way out of Daniel getting it.
Yeah, in a lot of ways.
There's a lot more to. I mean, what are they going to do? Roman wins. Then Edge can't keep going after him again because they made the full-on heel turn. So they backed themselves into a very dangerous box. A box that I don't want to back myself.
Hashtag bring big gold back. If Edge wins, bring big gold back.
We will see. But all that being said, I'm sure I can get you back on here one of these days to go over results and everything because I have a good time. I like having someone to talk to about wrestling.
Yeah.
I'm the only loser that I have in my life that likes to sit down and watch wrestling. Who could be on the show with me? That guy. And here he is. So I appreciate you stopping by, giving me the time of day. And we will continue. Like, this will not be the last time we see Justin.
No, sir.
Promise you that.
You got me hooked.
See, it's fun.
Yes, it is.
It's very cathartic in a way. But that being said, like, share, follow him too. Who cares? What? Be friends with the man. Be nice. It's everywhere. Everywhere all my other shows are available. Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcasts. It's there everywhere. Facebook, YouTube, Rumble for the videos. Find it, like it out, share it out, tell people about it. And until next time, my friend.
Yes, sir.
WrestleMania night, and peace.